Even if you are the person who is getting divorced, it can make you less confident, even if you are leaving. You have to figure out who you are without your ex-partner. There is nothing wrong with this feeling of uncertainty. Even if you were married for a long time, a part of your life and personality were already set up to be a certain way with that person. Divorce comes with a lot of challenges, and one of them is to keep your confidence up while going through this process. Being single again can make you feel bad about yourself, so you're learning how to live without your partner. This and other things could make you lose confidence even if you start a divorce and leave the other person. Divorce makes us think about who we are and how we fit in with the rest of the world. Look at your life and the roles you play in it. This is especially true if you were married to someone who was very attached to their marriage and took a lot of pride in it. This status gives some people a sense of self-worth and makes them proud to be a spouse. It's normal to be dependent on someone else, especially in a marriage. Codependency can make it hard to let go of someone during a divorce. Divorce can also make people lose faith because of how the divorce is being done. Because of how things are going, it might not be so easy to let go. If the divorce was not mutual or amicable, one person might hold on to more than the other, which could make them feel less confident. Keep in mind that things will get better in the end. The best thing you can do for yourself is to remind yourself that you still have a life and a future outside of divorce. It doesn't have to be who you are and make you lose your self-confidence. Keep in mind that new hopes and dreams will one day replace your old ones, so don't worry. It's important to keep your confidence up during your divorce. Care about your health and mental well-being, and you'll start to feel better. Take a moment for yourself at the end of the day. Keep your confidence strong and hold your head high because your kids will be grateful if you do. You can ask family members or relatives to babysit your kids or host them a few weekends a month while you try to deal with the changes that came from your marriage ending. Take on a project if you can do it. You can put yourself in a better mental state right away if you find other things to focus on. It doesn't matter if you spend your time volunteering or learning a new skill to keep your confidence strong. One of the best things you can do to keep your self-esteem strong is not think about the divorce. Think about how free and independent you are now. After a divorce, it's important to accept your new way of life and believe that you can get through the divorce. In order to rebuild yourself, you will have to do a lot of work. You are worth it, and you should do it for yourself. Then, change yourself. It's now the time and chance for you to start doing all of the things you may have wished you could have done with your previous partner but didn't get the chance to. It's the perfect place and time to live your life in a new way. This is a chance to learn and grow. Use this time to build yourself up. Even after and during a divorce, it takes a lot of work to build up your confidence. There are tools and people who can help you get through this. You can do this with your self-esteem and confidence intact. If you give yourself the time and space, you can make it through. Grief. The 5 stages. If you're getting a divorce, you know it can be very hard for you and your family and friends. Divorce is the end of a marriage and all of the hopes and dreams that came with it. When a close relative or a loved one dies, it's hard to come to terms with the fact that what was once so important and close to your heart is no longer there. As you start to think about your divorce and let go of the ideals you had for your marriage, you're likely to feel sad. For this reason, it is best to deal with your grief over a divorce in the same way you would deal with other types of grief. There are 5 stages of grief that experts say give us hope that things will get better and get back on track over time. Denial. Denial can be the first step for someone who is still very much in love with their partner. Sometimes, things that happen during a divorce can be shocking and completely out of the blue. As someone who can sense that a divorce is coming, your grief may not start right away. Instead, it may come at a later time. Anger. In the next step, anger comes. A lot of people get angry when they have to split up with their soon-to-be ex. Even if you thought your marriage was safe and stable, you might be worried and upset. Divorce is a very hard process to go through emotionally, and it takes a lot of mental energy to get through it. The unknown and how you'll move on in life can cause pain and fear. Some of the first things people who are divorcing start to worry about are their kids, their social status, or their money. A lot of things are going to happen to you that you can't solve on your own. This can make you angry about the whole thing, but with time, you don't have to be. You can get a lot of help from a specialist, even if you're the person who is divorcing or the person on the other side. Bargaining. The next step for most people is to try to get a deal. A lot of people who don't want to get divorced are afraid of how their lives will be without the other person. In other words, even though you want it to work no matter what, if the other person has given up, you must be strong enough on your own and say that you'll walk away. There are good and bad things about bargaining before you and your partner agree on a divorce. Once you've agreed to divorce, it can be very tiring and unhealthy. Guilt. Guilt usually comes after the bargaining stage. Some people may wonder how they let this happen, or come up with a million different ways they could have stopped it. If the divorce is your fault because of an infidelity or another negative reason, it is important to own up to your part of any mistakes you may have made and say that you are sorry. However, it's also important not to let someone blame you for things or make you take responsibility for things that were out of your hands. The guilt stage can be especially hard for people who have kids. It's important to keep your confidence and keep your head up during this time, but don't let it get you down. There will be sadness and depression at this point, but you have to work through it. Acceptance. When you're done, you'll be able to say, yes. As soon as you truly accept the situation for what it is, you start to feel better and have more confidence in yourself again. It's not about not letting someone you love go. It's about cutting ties with people who aren't healthy for you and bring back painful memories now. Sadness and empowerment. It's about letting your own strength and resilience help you grow into the person you were meant to be. There is no way to say that you don't still have bad feelings for the other person, but you have seen things for what they are and moved on. It will make the most sense to think about these stages of your divorce when you look back. However, it's still good to think about these things while you're going through a divorce, so you know that your process is normal. These are things that most people go through when they go through a divorce. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel for future updates.